Hey and welcome, I'm Hammeh and welcome to a few new little experiments and pilots. I'm going to be playing through the Witcher Tales Thronebreaker and a few other games on this channel. So if you enjoy this, do let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
Hey,
Story
come
time.
on. Get them shackles off him. Poor sod can't eat proper.
Dunno, not sure I like that. What if he runs for it? He's worth a heap of coin.
Ah, bollocks. Been holding him a week, hasn't tried a thing. What are you up and bolt now? Matter of fact, got to thinking. What did a sweet, gentle chap like him do to get the Queen of Zerrikania so riled?
So we are in Zerrikania.
She's a shrew, that's what. Queen and witch in one. Worst of both
We're a
worlds.
captive for her anyway.
Enough about her. What do you say to one more of your tales? While we toss down some cards.
Ah, why not? And since you mentioned one queen...
Let's tell the tale of another queen. Welcome to The Witcher Thronebreaker. So I'm quite excited for this game. Now I've been relatively light on what it's going to entail, but I am familiar enough with it and things. I am a big role-playing game fan. I enjoy The Witcher 3. I have played a lot of card games in the past, and really Thronebreaker kind of pulls them all together with what seems to be wonderful animation and artwork from what I've seen, lots of voice acting or so I've heard and stories. So I'm looking forward to exploring this with you. Now, for transparency, I got a free key for this, so that is my disclosure on that to start with, but I've been looking forward to this game anyway. Right, let's jump on in. So, if you are not familiar with the Witcher world and universe, I wouldn't worry too much about this because this game is set, as far as I understand it, before The Witcher 1. And there's been The Witcher 1, 2, 3. So lore-wise, story-wise, you can get into the world and universe with this without having to know everything else, which is a great idea, absolutely wonderful. Let's get stuck in. Now, I will not talk too much over bits of story and voice work, but then I'll talk in the midst of what's going on and playing and things like that as I'm going on, just to give you an idea of how this playthrough is going to go. And maybe in future I'll edit these a bit more, maybe I won't. These will be raw recorded, continuous, and then I'll let you know if I edit them in the future. So, difficulty-wise, now this is one thing. If you don't want to do the battles in the game, if you just want a story game, and I kind of like this, there is this mode where you can just play story mode. You can skip battles entirely if you want to, but the battles in this are going to be Gwent, the Witcher card game, which I'll talk a bit about, how it's integrated into this game, making it not just Gwent, is something that appears to have been done really, really well. It's kind of part point-and-click adventure, apparently, part card game, part puzzle game, and all kinds of stuff together, and part story game, so I'm really looking forward to it. Battle hardened, a moderate challenge and impactful story. Now, I'm not an amazing Gwent player. I just so you know, I played a bit of standalone Gwent, and for those of you not familiar, Gwent is the card game that was introduced in the Witcher games, and then got its own game in and of itself. Now, I've played a lot of Hearthstone. I used to be a Pokemon TCG champion back in the day. I was a Pokemon judge, a certified Pokemon professor, so I've loved card games for many, many years. So naturally I picked up Gwent. I enjoyed Gwent in The Witcher. I enjoyed Gwent as a standalone game. The reason I probably didn't get more into it was just because, honestly, I've been so invested in Hearthstone, and then I stopped Hearthstone. I didn't just want to jump straight into another game, and with the corresponding time investment and also financial investment that was. But I really have enjoyed Gwent as a game, so I'm looking forward to this. A standalone bit of Gwent, lots of standalone cards in this, and of course you do get bonuses for this that you can use in the actual Gwent game as well. So let's have a look. I think I'm going to go for a moderate challenge and impactful story. I think battle hardened is the way to go. I don't want to skip battles. I want to be battling. So battle hardened is for me. Impenetrable fog. Every turn on turn start, damage the highest unit on a row by 2. Interesting. So that's kind of an effect that's going to whittle away at your opponent's board. Now I will need some...
The year 1267. War hung in the air, its scent palpable. The mighty empire of Nilfgaard stood poised, greedily eyeing the northern realms just across the Yaruga.
We'll talk about Nilfgaard in a sec.
The realm sovereigns met in summit. They made declarations, pledged fraternal assistance,
There's our hero in the middle there.
And then, in good spirits, dispersed.
Meve.
Among them, Meve, queen of the twin realms Lyria and Rivia. Know the name? Heard her beauty extolled? Justly so. Remarkable she was. Not for her graceful exterior, but for her persistence and courage. Where was I? As the queen and her retinue neared her capital, Count Caldwell appeared. In Maeve's absence, the Count was to have helped her son, the youthful Prince Willem, run the Twin Kingdoms.
And so...
Caldwell had clearly ridden hard. Drops of perspiration dangled from his whiskers, his neck red and chafed from a ruff, starched stiff.
Interesting visual style. I do love it's the sort of the...
Hail, Your Majesty. Delighted to see you in good health. The summit, it ended fruitfully, I hope?
I hope so. Caldwell. You're not going to stab me in the back, are you, Caldwell? I don't know anything about the story of that.
Yes, at its end, letters were exchanged, documents signed. Paper. Time will tell of what value.
So, Nilfgaard are basically the... I'm not going to call them the big bad, but they're certainly a very antagonistic realm and nation, an autocratic one of the south that generally tend to go to war against the north. I think Nilfgaardans... they kind of have this thing where they have a lot of, conquered states, and basically if you're not born in Nilfgaard itself, then you're not a true Nilfgaardan according to Nilfgaard. So that's the kind of people that they are. That's the kind of leadership that they have. So them threatening other people in the history of the Witcher series is
that will
by no
suffice as
means
cordialities go, Caldwell. Tell me what's happened, for I sincerely doubt sheer longing prompted you to ride out.
Indeed, Your Grace. Another circumstance inspired me to do so. The strays of Sparla, the bandits, I was to tend to during Your Grace's absence. The situation's gotten out of hand, I fear.
Oh dear. Disappointing. Am I going to try to keep him on side? So you see, this is where the RPG bit starts to kick in. I'm going to be good cop for now.
Steady, Caldwell. Come now. Deep breath.
Patrona.
All right. Speak. What has happened? Be precise.
As Your Grace ordained, I set out and was nipping at the bandits' tails for long.
Were
We
you?
pursued for weeks.
Were you really?
Until scouts returned, having sighted the strays' camp in the forest near Locheren.
All
We
right.
waited for nightfall to surprise them as they slept. Alas, it proved a ruse. We found the tents empty. Straw-stuffed dummies round the fire. Soon, we learned that as we waited for the sunset, the strays had snuck away, rounded our positions and ridden to Hawksburn.
I beg your pardon, my lord. The tax collectors. That is where they station.
They've come for the money.
So the gold? All of it?
It's stolen, Your Grace, but I shall do all in my power to recover it. This I vow. If
Cool.
it be Your Grace's wish.
Yeah, maybe I'm going to take this one myself,
After weeks
Caldwell.
in the saddle, your Grace's wishes are modest. A hot bath and a night's sleep in her own bed. Yet, they shall have to wait.
Yeah, well, let's go
I
deal
must
with
look
this.
personally to this matter. Your force, Caldwell, I will now command. You... Send a herald to Hawksburn. They must prepare for the Queen's arrival. Air the rooms, dust off the porcelain. Make certain they do it.
Yeah.
Do you see now, Reynard? I believe I foretold it would be thus. My son wasn't ready in the least to rule an entire country.
I confess, Prince Willem has much to learn yet.
Yes. And very little time.
Okay, so there you go. Oh, here we go. Let's get acquainted with basic game mechanics. So, Thronebreaker tutorial time. Let's get acquainted with basic game mechanics. Okay, so I'm going to go through this. Control your character using the mouse. Follow the cobblestone road. Alright, I will do that. I'm loving the kind of visual style of this. It's very eye-poppingly clear. It's kind of almost like cel-shaded. You expand your army through the game, but to do so you need golden recruits. Alright? I can find useful items and new companions. If you don't want to miss anything, be sure that explore the map and do side quests. Oh, hang on. There was a picture of me, like, clicking something and getting some money. I want to do this. Oh, there we go. Was it the arrow stump? Yeah, there you go. Gotta hold it down. Wood and money. Can I talk to this guy? No. Side quests, ho!
Oh, thought it were bandits riding in.
Some wood. I'll take that. This is where the compulsive looter in me is just going to grab everything. Yep. Hello, village. Your wood is mine now. What about the windmill? Yep. Okay. Lovely. So I think... Oh, what's... What this? No, can't go there. That makes sense. What does that mean, though? It's like a night post. Troops or something? Nice, okay.
Milka. They stretched her over a fire
Ooh.
till she told them where she buried her gold.
Oh.
Rather die than tell him she would. But I know where she kept it. Sit tight. Sketch it out for you.
A treasure map. Search the area and you may just find the secret modern... A building with an X in front of it. I think I've just seen one of those. Actually, hang on a second. There are multiple buildings with X's in
Strays,
front
they're
of them.
called, Your Majesty. Because they bite something nasty and bay as if by them.
I may have been a little judged. Oh no, hang on. There was a dig symbol there. Oh no, was that me? I thought I had a little digging symbol. Okay. I was a bit rude about that puzzle. It was probably not as straightforward as I first thought. Well, the real question is, do I have like a quest log or something like that where I can see the map? Or can I speak to her again? Miller's Bend. Have I just I failed at the first hurdle.
The strays, they're called, Your Majesty. Because they bite something nasty and bay as if by the moon possessed.
Okay, I see. I kind of want to go digging. It was like a building, like maybe that building where the gold was. Maybe it's not in this village. Doesn't look like there's anything I can easily sort of click. Okay. Lesson learned. I'm not going to rush over treasure maps in future. I've missed my gold. My gold. Okay. Right, let's keep going. In the interests of alacrity. Okay. So... Ooh. An obstacle blocks your path. Oh, hang on. Could that be it? An out-of-town... Is there another village I can go in there? Ah, dig. There we go. I found it. There we go. That was the hut with it in front of. Yes, please. Great, please. I've discovered a card. The Gwent multiplayer card game. Reynard Udo. Okay, I'm going to climb that. I like this village down here. I wonder if I can actually go down there. Come on, Maeve. No, that looks like it's not accessible at this point. Who knows, maybe it will be in future. Looks pretty detailed. Let's go and explore. Let's get over this. Your Majesty, someone's filled Nano, which now blocks road. Our wagons cannot go around it. Should I have loggers, soldiers to conserve their strength? I'm gonna keep... I've got quite a bit of money, but I don't have so many soldiers. I don't know how these figures, but I figure I'm gonna get into a fight with these bandits, so I'm gonna spend some golden wood. I figure let's keep the soldiers fresh. I'm sure that will play into things at some point or another. Most are marked, but not all. Most interactive objects are marked, but not all. Alright.
Count Caldwell rode at the column's head, scanning its flanks with a wary eye that, despite his advanced age, proved very sharp indeed.
Your Majesty! Bandits! There! At the tree line!
The Count's footmen, unaccustomed to escorting their queen, sought to shield her with their bodies and assumed a tight formation to do so. They were promptly knocked aside as Maeve charged headlong at the bandits, brandishing her blade and bellowing a ferocious cry.
Attack! Charge!
I love it. I love it. There's a lot of voice work in this game, so brilliant. So I'm guessing this is going to be our first Gwent game. Maeve was convinced the bandits would flee to the cover of the forest upon realising their grave mistake. No ordinary bandit would dare attack the retinue of a queen. Yet the strays of Sparta were of a different breed. They held nothing sacred. Story battle. A key battle in Maeve's story. Unique cards may appear. Custom deck. Unique cards appear in this battle. Okay, cool. So we're going to jump into Gwent. This will be our little tutorial to Gwent and a good way to sort of finish and have a little sort of chat through another part of the game before we get into the game, see whether you want to see more of this or not. This is the battlefield. You'll play your cards on the bottom half and your opponent will play on the top half. So Gwent is a game played in rows. You effectively lay out your stall, your opponent lays out the stall, the cards interact, and you're not sort of... You're playing turn by turn, but you're always thinking with a couple of eyes into the future in the game of Gwent. It's as much about planning as it is about reacting to what's in front of you. You can have a strategy and play it through. Melee or range, but remember, some cards may be different depending on the row that you play them on. A stand battle can last up to 3 rounds. The first to win 2 rounds wins the whole match, and you win a round by outscoring your opponent in terms of points, and I'll show you that in a second. can only play one card, but can use any number of abilities. The player that goes first is the same who initiated the battle. We've got ambushed, so our opponent is going first.
Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth? To attack the Queen? An outrage!
I love it. We got people cheering us on and fighting on the sides. Strength adds to your his tail strength, and the strength is kind of the points that determines who wins the round. There you go. Some units have armor, which absorbs damage.
Your Grace, the men await. You must lead to begin the attack.
Okay, so most have abilities. Read the short description. More info appears if you right-click the card. Play any card. So I'm just going to have a look at our Stray Slinger. Move one unit to the row opposite this unit, and damage them by 1. So you can, using this, move people around to do some additional damage, which is very cool. God, they've got like little pig head masks and things. Bandit gang. So what am I going to play? I can only play, of course, one unit, but so boost self by 5. Damage an enemy by the number of cards on this row. So I'm going to play the Arbalast when I've got more cards on the row. Count Caldwell. Play a copy of each adjacent unit from your deck. So I can also want to play him like. So really, I'm going to play the Sidemen first, and then I can get boosts by playing these cards later. So I'm going to play the Lyrian Sidemen first, I think. Is it actually... what row do I want to play on now? Blitz. I think that means it can attack the same row when it's dropped up. So let's blitz him on.
Salt of the earth, they are, Your Grace. They'd follow you into fire. You need simply say the word.
Caldwell's a little bit sort of, I don't know, sycophanty, a little bit sort of suck-uppy maybe. Scythemen are loyal. That means that other abilities are acted every time you use Maeve's ability. That's amazing. Each leader has his own unique ability. To learn what it is, just select the leader. Maeve's allows her to boost a unit's strength and add armor to it. She can use this ability once every few turns. First select her, then select one of your units. Alrighty. Boost an ally by 4 and give it 1 armor. So she's selected.
I shall teach you to respect the crown, you dogs!
Go. And then it gets an additional, it gets the loyal boost. Boost self by 5. You cannot make any more moves. It's time to end my turn. Well, that's 16 to their 3. They're dropping some cavalry. Alright. They've got cavalry on the back. Whenever an enemy takes damage, boost itself by 1. So, score-wise, well and good here. Play a copy of each adjacent unit from your deck. I want to damage an enemy by the number of cards on this row. So I'm going to pop this guy on this row.
I'm a monster.
Now I can use its ability, so because there are 2 cards on this row, I can do 2 damage to an enemy. I could almost take out this one, or I could do damage to the big one. Enemy takes damage to be self on 1. I'm going to get this nice and low. So that's almost dead. I could remove that. That will remove the point score that they'll be earning this turn as well.
Look out! Seek cover! We are
Deploy.
bombarded!
Remove 1 unit to the row opposite unit and damage them by 1. So again, they're shuffling my cards around. Play any card. Well, I've got card up. Each adjacent unit. Well, there's only 1 adjacent unit now. I could have had 2 adjacent units, but I can play. If I play Caldwell, I can do that.
Keep calm, Tiberius.
And can I can't use her ability yet because it's on cooldown. Summon from the deck. His ability is activated the moment he is played, so I can just play that.
The strays took tail and run.
Many points. Many points at this point in time. So at the moment I'm winning 1 row.
Our victory is assured. Sound the horns. May they sing praises of this triumph for ages.
There we go. We'll turn into a pass button. To end the last turn, press the coin. There we go. Most strength points at the end of the round will win the round. Most players will see victory points.
The battle's not yet done.
There we go.
It is better to conserve our strength. Prepare for a strike that will prove decisive.
So see, there is a point where if you don't want to overwin, now there I'd probably overwon. I played maybe too much. I didn't need to play so many cards there. So in a game of Gwent, you can if you play too much in the early rounds, then you'll lose sort of things to win or contest the later rounds as well. So I can go first again, but remember I'm probably not going to have those cards as far as I remember it. As you can see, they're in my graveyard now, so I can't use these in future rounds unless I have something that shuffle those back in. I'm remembering how to play Gwent as I go along, but that's good because it means that we can learn together. So I've got more Arbalists. Of course, I can still buff with Maeve. Still got Scythemen. So I like the Scythemen. The Scythemen to turn the Scythemen to like first row.
A time to reap, a time to sow,
and of course,
time to die.
Maeve's ability, I can either use it and get it on cooldown, or I can use it to boost rows where I maybe need to sort of win more kind of points or things like that. I can use it to tactically sort of boost my strength in different places. So this will become a good rate. I think why not? Stir up our Maeve buff. Boost self by 5 along with the by 4 and 1 armor. So yeah, you can make a very nice chunky move there.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
Moving it, damaging by 1. So obviously if I have cards that I can only play on a certain row, then it means that this can move my combos around. It can sort of disrupt my combos. So like Arbalasts, for example, I can play them on the front row, but I want to kind of do this. I get my damage. Oh no, it's only got reach 2, so I can't reach 3. So I've made a mistake. I would have made a mistake if I played that there. I couldn't actually reach that unit on the back row, so I'm going to play that on the middle row. I can only damage it by 1, but the more of those I play, the more damage I can do. So next turn, I can actually throw that down and kill that unit. But I'm 21 to 8 in terms of strength, so I may not actually need to do anything unless they play a huge card here. So I'm going to take a gamble here and try and save my Arbalast for the next go. I'm just going to win my turn. Oh, it says play any card. Is it going to let me not play a card? Maybe in the tutorial it's not going to let me do that. So
Arbalest to your command.
there we go. Did 2 because there are 2 on that row. So I've thoroughly won that one. And 2 rounds out of 3 will just win me it. So yeah, there's no reason to.
Well.
Won 2 rounds in a row, which means I've
I
won.
congratulate you on your latest victory, Your Grace. The bandits stood not a chance.
Cheers, Reynard. Hey, there we go. That's our first victory. So that's a little sample of the combat mechanics. Now, if you want, you can play story mode and skip it. But the more cards you get, there's ways that this card game, Field Medic, play a random ally from your graveyard. That's quite cool.
Matters seem indeed to have gotten out of hand, to put it mildly.
Maeve said, arms crossed atop her shining breastplate.
They've grown bold. Doubtless after the raid on the manor, the tax collectors. I've not heard of an ambush on the high road afore.
Caldwell explained, avoiding his liege's wrathful gaze.
Enough, Caldwell. We must put things right. Come!
The Queen's retinue set out, cavalry in front, infantry and arbalists close behind, and, following in the rear, the bandits, bound in chains.
Hey. Take that, bandits. There we go. So that is a little playthrough, starting of a playthrough of The Witcher Tales Thronebreaker. So you can see a little bit of the role-playing game elements, you can see a little bit of the story, the voice acting, a little bit of the sort of combat and things as well, and there is a lot more to come and a lot more mechanics and things as well, but that's a little flavour of it for you, of us, of Maeve and of Lyria. What do you think of the game? Would you like to see more of this? Do let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are you playing this game, and have I done anything, have I misrepresented it? Without spoiling the story, do let me know your thoughts if you're playing Thronebreaker, if you're a Witcher fan as well, in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you too. And if you'd like to see more of this on this channel, I'm going to be playing through this on my channel, so I'm going to stick a little playlist up. If you'd like to see more of this kind of thing, or any ideas as to how I could prove it and make it better, do let us know. Throw a like, subscribe if you enjoyed. Do check out my main gaming lore channel where I talk about Overwatch and a lot of games and other stuff. But here on this channel, you will see playthroughs, talking through and enjoying story-led RPG games and a bunch of other games as well. Games I enjoy, game reviews, previews, let's plays and impressions, as well as just experiments and all kinds of stuff that I like to do with gaming. Cheers for tuning in. I've been Hammeh. Big thanks to my patrons on Patreon, without whom this video just wouldn't exist and my videos wouldn't exist. And if you like my content, do check out patreon.com/Hammeh to see how I can. If you like my content, do check out patreon.com/Hammeh. You can support me from $1 a month, just $1, £1, €1 a month, and get a few bonuses. Help decide and talk about where my videos are going to go and what I cover and do, and have a bit more of a say into that and a bit more insight into how it all happens as well. Cheers for tuning in. I've been Hammeh, and I'm going to enjoy this music now. Oh, I love the music so much.